Hello everybody, welcome back for another video. Hope you're all doing well and that you're all having a fantastic day. And without any further ado, let's jump right into it in what is probably going to be the most unsurprising news of the last century and a half. Whenever, as I always said, whenever prices dip, there's always huge amounts of buying. Always by the whales, but in this case, it's actually by the sharks. On-chain data shows that Bitcoin investors holding between 100 and 1,000 Bitcoin have been on an unprecedented buying spree in the past 2 months. And if you look at that time frame, that's literally exactly when the dips began to happen. As analyst Willy Woo explained in a new post on Twitter, a group of high net worth Bitcoin investors has been buying quite heavily recently. More specifically, these holders are carrying between 100 and 1,000 BTC in their wallets right now. At the current cryptocurrency exchange rate, the lower level has around $6 million and the upper has around $62 million in Bitcoin. Investors of this size are popularly known as sharks, and I'm side note, for those of you who weren't here years ago, one of the most annoying things in the entire world is that people were trying to get like every animal in the animal kingdom put into these classifications. So we had whales, and they like listed like 4 different types of whales. Some of those words I don't think I can even say on here. You know what kind of whales have weird names. And then they had sharks, they had hammerhead sharks, and then like it got down to like shrimps and crabs, and I was like, we don't need every animal classification to talk about how much Bitcoin someone is holding. Given these large holdings, sharks can exert some influence in the market. Although they are less significant than the whales, the largest holders, people need to stop doing that as well. People need to stop pretending that somebody with 999 Bitcoin isn't holding a massive amount of money. Why are people so monetarily decentralized that you think someone holding $62 million isn't rich or like can have some kind of an influence on the market or isn't going to? Very odd. Below is the Glassnode chart shared by Woo, which displays the trend in the total amount of Bitcoin supply held by investors belonging to this range over the last few years. Here's the chart. The white line right here is Bitcoin's price, and the orange line right here, this is the beginning of the Bitcoin ETFs right here. This is January 2024. It's basically going up completely in a straight line, as accumulation always does, especially once we got to the halving, because that's what always ends up taking place. So this was popular in the news. I think anytime we have any whale, shark, or other animal buying news, it always ends up being quite popular. I guess maybe as a reminder to people that other people are still buying. If you've been following this channel for a while, you already know, like they don't stop buying. I know that sounds nonsensical. These people don't stop buying crypto. I don't know how to make that any clearer. I think I said it in a language that we can all understand, but if prices go up, these people are buying. If prices go down, these people are buying even more. The really crazy thing is that, oh gosh, what was it? We just got news about it. Yeah. It was news from, it was Glassnode, and it was also JP Morgan. This was like 2 weeks ago or something like that. They released information that said that the majority of people who were selling as prices were going down were retail investors, everyday normal people. The prices went down by a bit. These people got spooked because they haven't been in the market for a while, and they sold off their positions in the market. And then we got news a day later, and we have always been getting this news, is that people bought those coins up. So just as a reminder, Rich people are always buying. They understand the term longevity when it comes to this markety. Yeah, that's the sharks have been buying. And this is only shark news. This isn't like, whale news is also out there, but this one was popular today. You know that even normal people air quotes, normal people who have like 1, 2, or 3 Bitcoin, they're also buying all the time as well. They're not, like, this isn't like a week where sharks were only buying. That's the hope you're paying attention news. Okie dokie. Let's move on. Okay. So I wasn't going to cover this, but it's kind of, reached the point of no return. For those of you who haven't been keeping up with the Binance Nigeria story, it's getting, and I believe it 1,000%. There's not one part of me that doesn't believe this. For those of you who didn't recently see, Nigeria announced that they're going to be banning cryptocurrency exchanges and trades with their local currency. They literally said, our currency's not doing too hot. The amount of people who are getting into crypto is causing, find it. Find the news or even watch yesterday's video. Our currency's beginning to slip. We're not doing very well. We have to ban, I think it's called the Naira, their currency, Naira to crypto transactions, because people are selling off their fiat and buying Bitcoin and crypto instead. The other portion of the news, and the reason why I believe it, is because while I have never been to this country, after years of watching documentaries and seeing things about them, I've heard a large amount of corruption information. Binance has tried to expand as best they could around the world. They were the first crypto exchange to really think about expansion. This is back in the olden days where the Gemini twins and the people from Coinbase were just set on doing business in the United States. It was the weirdest thing in the entire world. But Binance said, no, let's go around the world and let's do tons of business. So since the government announced that they're going to be banning fiat to crypto exchanges to protect their terrible currency that they have, they also have launched an investigation or some kind of nonsense against the people from Binance. And the issue is that they're claiming that, I believe, one of the heads of Binance who was working in Nigeria, that apparently he allegedly did something wrong. It was news about a month ago that this person fled, as well they should have. This is all my personal opinion. From what I've seen in books, in the news, in documentaries, I think it was probably right, because you want to usually flee from a corrupt country, but also I dare say the word shame, like literal shame, on Binance, because they probably knew that this was even going to happen. Once again, personal opinion. I understand that you want to make money as a company. Got it. Cool. Amazing. However, I think you should really pick where you set up shop, because a lot of these countries are known for, certain things historically. So apparently, one of the higher ups of the company for Binance fled when people were after him, and then he went somewhere else. I believe the story is that he was dragged back into Nigeria, and now they're keeping him held. Then the news popped up that apparently the CEO of Binance, who I believe him 8,000 times quicker than any government, announced that the Nigerian government was like, hey, yeah, we'll let this guy go if you give us some monies. And then I was like, oh, the story's sounding more and more believable. And apparently they're asking for $150 million. So this is where we currently are. And it could have even been something where, like, I don't know these people, but it could have even been something like where the people from Binance were like, let's make sure that we try and bring crypto to other places around the planet. But you gotta use more due diligence when it comes to things like this, because this is completely it was obvious that this was definitely going to happen. Nigeria has allegedly been bribing people or asking for bribery from Binance, the world's largest crypto exchange, labeling them as a tactic to divert attention from the exchange's activities. Once again, Binance, Coinbase, Kraken, Gemini, FTX, ABC, 423, every crypto exchange out there has been accused of some type of money laundering, something doing this, blah, 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 and all these other kinds of things. I'll leave the FTX thing to the side because I could literally talk about that for an hour and a half. However, I find it, and will always find it, nearly impossible to believe, and that's not to say that it's not possible. I find it impossible to believe that every single exchange on the planet is somehow evil and doing bad business and making sure that they're not working with regulators. People who set up shop and who open up companies and who open up physical locations in places around the world when you are a multi-billion-dollar or trillion-dollar company, do you think that when BlackRock or KPMG or Fidelity or any company is opening up a new, place somewhere that they're going any, many, miny corruption? Let's just do it there. I don't want to talk to the regulators. No, it takes years to actually set up in any of these places. I find it a little hard to believe that the people from Binance were like, let's just set up shop here, bro. Like, not regular what? I don't care about that. Let's just do this. And that they had no lawyers and they had no one from the Nigerian SEC talking to them, helping them, trying to set up all these things. The statement comes in response to a blog post by Binance's newly appointed CEO, Richard Tang, who claimed that the Nigerian government demanded $150 million in crypto to settle an ongoing investigation, which even tells me they were probably only asking for Bitcoin and Ether. I doubt they were asking for Tether. They probably explicitly wanted Bitcoin because if Bitcoin does a 7-8x in price, they got $1 billion for nonsense. Do you understand the levels of corruption around the world? And if you don't want to know about it, don't look at it. Because it creates a rabbit hole that literally will take you through the entirety of the planet and throw you out towards the moon. When you hear exactly how corrupt the world is and the things that these people do, this news did not surprise me at all. According to Bloomberg, the Ministry of Information spokesperson said that the allegations are baseless and lacking substance. I'll bet you one Satoshi. This bribe was probably sent through an email, a text message, or a phone call that the people from Binance recorded. Can you imagine? No. There's literally no way. So anyway, on top of the news that Nigeria is getting ready, I mean, it all lines up like far too perfectly. Like, you guys don't have to lie. Just like we wanted some extra money. We figured out these rich people had some extra monies and we wanted some of it ourselves. You can't follow up the news that you are stopping people in your country from having economic freedom by allowing them to literally swap their local currency, which is doing terribly, into a coin that will allow them to potentially have economic freedom in the future. I believe this Binance news more than anything I think we've ever gotten in the cryptocurrency space. I don't know if I'll be bringing you any more because a lot of it is actually quite sad when you hear what's been going on. This is very US SEC-esque as well. This kind of like ruling by enforcement. And I told you all before, there's no part of me that would even be remotely surprised if we got news in 2050 and some documentary of all the money that was passing tables at the USC's office in the States to get things moving and going, because it's always just about money. If it was about actually regulating and making sure that people were like in a fair and safe and calm area, you would have gotten US regulations back in 2012. So anyway, yeah, terrified to see what kind of news is going to pop up in the next 2 or 3 days about Nigeria and Binance once again. But hopefully the guy who they're holding gets out of that country, and I'm certain Binance will never do business with them again, because it's like, you know, just stay away from places that are corrupt. And you know, that also, okay, that's the what? That's so out of never heard of that kind of news before. Okie dokie, artichoke. Let's move on. Also okay, I guess that makes sense. Years ago, one of the ideas for the future was that we would need or want or have some kind of a digital identity online. No one was asking for it, but typically rich people throw stuff out there. They tell people that they need it. Like the latest iPhone that has an extra camera on the front and the back and also can do flips and all these other. It's always some kind of a new gimmick. This was made popular by Vitalik in 2018 for Ethereum, when the whole idea of Ethereum still had to do with being a worldwide computer system. That was the original idea of Ethereum, and look at how far we are. The idea of a digital identity was basically something that would be linked to you forever as you move around online, which is just, absolutely terrible for privacy. Because imagine the things that you do right now literally following you for the rest of your ever. Year 2075. You can see completely everything you've done online and everything you've done with crypto. That sounds like a lot of fun, right? So this news has popped up, and surprising to me, or rather should I say unsurprising, this news was popular because apparently no one cares about their information and stuff anymore. Remember see how it's not in the news anymore. Remember how a couple of months ago where you were all like told to be terrified because of central bank digital currencies and they're evil, they're going to be tracking you everywhere. And I was like, oh no, you're already being tracked in everything you do and everything you go and everything. Anyway, so MicroStrategy has come up with a 2.0 for this, and no one needs this. People will probably use it, but it's also like no one needs this. MicroStrategy has introduced a new enterprise decentralized identity platform called MicroStrategy Orange. Wow. During the Bitcoin for Corporations segment at the MicroStrategy World 2024 event in Las Vegas. Already, Bitcoin is decentralized, but not anonymous. It is pseudonymous. However, the moment you link your Bitcoin account, like your actual one on your computer, you send the transaction to Coinbase or to Binance or to Kraken or to Gemini, or you start linking stuff up to your Firefox, it loses the actual anonymity factor. Remember when, Visa and MasterCard were like, hey, link up all your stuff over here. It's so much easier. All that data is something that they're using to literally see who's using these coins, who's moving these coins, what they're doing with them. Once again, always do only what is legal within your country. If you are not required to link your systems up or to let people know explicitly, then don't. You're totally fine. So it sounds wonderful and futuristic. Oh my gosh, a decentralized identity. Yeah, on Bitcoin, which means you would also be using the Bitcoin system. So if in the future Bitcoin's price goes to, 1.5, 0.7, 3.8 million dollars, and you're using your Bitcoin identity online to pay for stuff through your wallet, what's that? What happened in the year 2024? Yes, we have a full rundown of everything this person has done through their decentralized identity. See, it's like it's kind of gross now. It's like, what's the point of this? We don't need this. I think humanity's just fine without having a complete rundown of everything that I've done through a program. According to an unofficial draft on GitHub, the Orange platform leverages the Bitcoin inscription DID method, which incorporates data inscriptions in Bitcoin's witness sections to manage decentralized identifiers. By utilizing unspent transaction outputs on the Bitcoin blockchain, MicroStrategy Orange aims to ensure a secure and efficient management of digital identities, reducing both transaction fees and block space. They said, wouldn't it be great if instead of a blue check, a green check, etc., there was an orange check? Whoa, they just changed the game. That was a global standard. This was said by Michael. I thought there was going to be another name. It said MicroStrategy. I saw executive, but I was like, okay, it's Michael Saylor. With MicroStrategy, maybe we can approach this idea of decentralized identity with Bitcoin. The idea sounds utopian in essence. You go online, you can be a what's the word? A digital citizen. I don't know what word people are saying, but basically you can, when you exist online, everything you have works within this space. The fact that this would be running through MicroStrategy is already like a no. What's the point of this? Why do something on a decentralized platform and then give the information to a company? It literally says they will create and manage your digital identity for your organization and users. Anyway, this was very, very popular news. I don't know if it's simply because it was from MicroStrategy and we know them to be a gigantic Bitcoin bull, but this is totally unnecessary. There's no one that actually needs this. You do not need an online identity because you already have one. That's the way that all the tracking works. But then to have like another one, and I assume this will cost some kind of a monthly fee. Has anyone else also got? I was really annoyed. Has anyone also gotten that thing that Netflix just got more expensive? I was like, weren't you $7.99 like a year and a half ago? Yeah, everything's getting a little bit too expensive, Anyway, MicroStrategy Orange. Yeah, I think a lot of companies always continue to, I think they throw out ideas that they think sound good or that the public will like latch on to. No, I think I'm okay. I don't need any oranges right now. That's the popular MicroStrategy news. They're usually in the news for buying Bitcoin, but I guess they got us this time. Yeah. Let's move on. Also in news, Coinbase is apparently planning to offer a Canadian dollar stablecoin on their platform shortly after receiving an official license to operate within Canada. For those of you who've been missing the last 5 or 6 videos, there's a really weird trend that's popping up where stablecoins are kind of like major news now. So we basically, so the first part is that we've been getting a lot of news about how well stablecoins are performing and how much money stablecoin companies are making. And even more so, Coinbase is on this little kick right now where they're really trying to get more people to use their platform called Base. And they've been moving a lot of, we had news before that they've been moving a lot of their stable coins, the Circle coin, also onto Base as well, to be like, look how much more transactions that we have. These companies are making billions of dollars every single quarter just from the actual fees. So there's a mad rush as well to create other stable coins against other countries' currencies, but it's also like, it's not needed. Like realistically, like stable coins are really only a thing for people who are trading crypto or who need whatever, what have you around the world. Just leave it at US dollar, because this is not the first Canadian stable coin. And what ends up happening is that no one uses them. Like there've been multiple Euro stable coins as well over the years, but no one uses them once again. So they end up falling apart. But it could just be like a bit of a curtsy maybe in the direction of the Canadian government to be like, look how regulated we are. I'm not exactly sure what it is. Part of the real news is what we got a couple of days ago. The people from Visa had a new report where they just blatantly lied and said that stable coins weren't being used as much as people thought they were. And this also follows the news that we've been getting for a while, that Visa and MasterCard are also trying to make their own stable coin. So what's the point of you lying? The news is that in April alone, in 1 month, in a 30-day period, stable coins moved $2.2 trillion equivalent, $2.2 trillion in 1 month. And Visa was like, well, you know, 2 trillion of that wasn't even by humans, it was by bots. And it was like, yeah, because people who do high frequency trading and people who trade stocks and bonds, they also use bots. So people within the cryptocurrency space using stable coins and having their bots trade with them isn't a lack of actual use. There's a lot of money to be made in this space, more than I could have ever potentially imagined. But if you found a way to potentially mimic and or create a country's currency in digital form, and you have control over it, i.e. Coinbase will have control over the digital US dollar Circle and the Canadian dollar Canacoin. I don't know what they're going to name this thing. You know, of course, then the money is actually in your pocket. And this is why, if you've also been looking at it, why we've been seeing so much stablecoin regulation recently. Because stablecoins could essentially kind of replace the fiat currencies that they're actually being created about. Because with many stablecoins, you can actually even get like 4 or 5% return on your money yearly. So, you know, normal banks aren't doing that. In a Twitter update, the company said it had added, that's a terrible name, QCAD, the letter Q, and then CAD. What? Wouldn't it have made sense to have it CADD? Canadian dollar? QCAD? QCAD to their roadmap, a Canadian dollar pegged stablecoin that was relaunched by Canadian fintech firm Stablecore last year. Yeah, because no one wants these things. No one wants, we don't need 95 stablecoins. You know how many times we've had companies launching stablecoins against gold because they thought that they could trip the wider, like, they want everyone to be so gullible and be like, oh my gosh, this stablecoin's going to make it. And they also end up falling apart because you need billions of dollars worth of gold to keep these stablecoins stable. And it's the same exact thing. Like most people who are trading, like if you are high frequency trading or if you are a day trader, you're not really thinking, oh gosh, I wish I had a Canadian dollar version to be able to. No, you trade against the US dollar. Most things are always set against the US dollar anyway. When you look at prices, they're in US dollars. Like no one's thinking like, oh no, Coinbase finally has a Canadian dollar. I can finally day trade. No, they've been trading with the other coins that they already had before. Besides, and I say this lightly, besides Tether and Circle, we don't really need any other stable coins yet. And even when we have 1 billion more people getting into this market and 5% of them are actually trading these coins, we can have more Tether and more Circle against the US dollar. It doesn't. Much like other popular stable coins such as Tether and the Circle coin, QCAD maintains its pegged with fully backed reserves of equal or greater value to the number of tokens that have been issued. Fantastic. So cool. They keep trying. No one wants these things. I don't understand why people keep pretending that this is supposed to be like amazingly fantastic news, because no one's going to use it again. The coin's going to collapse. And then we're going to hear that more Tether got printed, more Circle got created, more of it got put on base. And then we're going to hear, what is it, a couple of weeks from now, from the people from Tether, that they just bought another 119 million thousand Bitcoin with all the money that they made because, you know, they're Tether. Cool. That's the Coinbase news. I can't believe it. Wow, that's crazy. A lot of, sure. Yeah, I do think that's going to do it for this video. Hope you all enjoyed. Hope you all are having a great day. Hope you, I don't know, watch the movie. I don't know what I'm trying to say there, but you understand. Yeah, the market's weird. Everything's weird. The world is weird. Have you all been paying attention recently? Hope you all been doing stuff that's nice for yourself. I've just been I've been on a comic buying spree. Like it's a bit dramatic in this house right now. A lot of comics, a lot of comics. And also Pokemon cards. I don't know maybe it's summertime. I don't know what the connection is, but I'm buying a lot of Pokemon boxes. Anyway, I do hope you all enjoyed. I don't know why any of you needed to know that. I have no idea why, but you know, hope you all enjoyed. Hope you all are having a great day. Morning, afternoon, evening, wherever you are, wherever you might be. I do hope it's absolutely fantastic. Thank you all once again for watching, listening, liking, commenting, and supporting. And I will most certainly be talking to you all soon. See you.